and welcome to this special show. While we talk about digital revolution and big deals, and while people also say that coronavirus pandemic that is really plaguing the entire world has brought about probably the real digital revolution in the world, we are talking here about a big digital deal that has really been struck today in the country. We are talking about Facebook buying out 10% stake in Reliance Jio for a whopping 43,570 odd crore rupees. Now, this is a large transaction, one of the largest FDI investments when it comes to the technology space in the country. In fact, the two head honchos, Mukesh Ambani as well as Mark Zuckerberg, also said that this will open up many opportunities, a plethora of commercial aspects and innovations for both the countries or the companies coming together. So Silicon Valley clearly making its way to Indian markets as well. Let's first hear out the CMD of Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani.
All of us at Reliance and Jio are delighted to welcome Facebook Inc. as our long-term and esteemed partner. At the core of our partnership is the commitment that Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, and I share for the all-around digital transformation of India and for serving all Indians. Together, our two companies will accelerate India's digital economy to empower you, to enable you, and to enrich you. The combined power of Jio's world-class digital connectivity platform and Facebook's intimate relationship with the Indian people will offer innovative new solutions to each one of you. In the very near future, JioMart, Jio's digital new commerce platform, and WhatsApp will empower nearly 3 crore small Indian Kirana shops to digitally transact with every customer in their neighborhood.
All right, so this particular deal really empowering digital society in the country. That's the word coming in from Mukesh Ambani. Also, let's also hear out Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, and he says that it is going to open a lot of commercial opportunities for both the companies. Hear him out.
We are proud to be partnering with Jio to help people and businesses in India create a lot of new opportunities, and we're going to share more on this soon. So I want to thank Mukesh Ambani and the entire Jio team for your partnership. I think we're going to be able to build a lot of great things that people find valuable in their daily lives, and importantly, that make it easier to live and easier to do business. This is an important moment for all of us, and I want to personally extend a welcome to all others who want to get involved and help in this effort.
All right, so those were the important words coming out from the deal makers, and it's a large transaction and could have much more impact than what really meets the eyes prima facie. We are not just talking about Reliance Jio selling a stake to Facebook, not just about Reliance Retail also having a tie-up, but it could really impact the overall deal scenario as well as the digital revolution in the country. To talk exactly about that, we've got experts from across various fields with their expertise joining us to give us a sense on what could this mean and what's the way forward. Let me welcome on the show Renuka Ramnath, Sanjay Kapoor, TV Mohandas Pai, Rajiv Agarwal. We also have Sajid Pai as well as Sudhir Sethi. Ladies and gentlemen, so good to have you on CNBC TV 18. My first question to Mr. Mohandas Pai. Mr. Pai, from the technology space that you have worked very closely with, to now it taking a very different turn on the digital space, in terms of digitization, what does this particular deal mean for India?
Well, I think it means a lot for India and for Reliance. Reliance is clearly a winner because for 10% stake on Jio platforms, Reliance get access to Facebook and to WhatsApp. WhatsApp has maybe 300, 400 million Indians. It's the largest messaging tool used by Indians. And through that, you can get retail, e-commerce, etc. And Facebook coming in means that 10% equity means that Reliance will be the very big winner. Now, Reliance Jio and Facebook can take on TikTok. TikTok is a short video format and can take on TikTok. And we must also remember that Facebook is under threat because of Instagram. The younger generation is moving to Instagram in a very big way, and Facebook is one generation old. So for Facebook is an entry into India, and for Jio is a very big win. We must congratulate Mukesh Ambani as a master strategist. See what he has done. He's got Facebook for a 10% stake. WhatsApp comes along, payments comes along. Suddenly he gets about 400, 500 million people who can transact on his platform. Second, he ties up with Microsoft for cloud with Azure. Now with Azure, he's got the cloud technology and unlimited cloud capacity, which you can easily build. And using that, he can dominate the market. So I think Mukesh Ambani has been a grand strategist. He has built a fabulous network connecting about 400 million Indians all over India. He's brought in 4G. Shortly, he may bring in 5G. We got fantastic video, audio. And he who owns the network, and Mukesh who owns the network, is going to be the king. Because through the network, everything will come. And everything that passes through the network is going to get a piece of the cake. And for that, he has tied up with the best the world has, the largest network providers. And in this partnership, Mukesh Ambani and Jio are clearly going to be the winners. I think it's a great day for India, great day for Reliance, and hats off to the master strategist, Mukesh Ambani was thought of all this and got it together. And competition better buck up. They're going to have severe competition when all this goes live in a short while.
Right, so competition better buck up, and let me get in Sanjay Kapoor. In intense competition that we are seeing in the telecom space, Sanjay, how do you read into this strategy, and will it be wrong to really say that now out of all the telecom companies, Reliance Jio is the first one which has successfully managed to reposition itself as a truly digital company, while the nearest competition is still considered a true telecom company?
Look, to begin with, any news, especially in a COVID-19 environment, can only be a good news for the country. And I think kudos to Reliance Group and Mr. Ambani for having pulled this off at a 9.9 let go of stake. So I think well done on that. The way I understand this deal, it's a non-exclusive deal where Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp will work with others, because that's the nature of the business that they do. They cannot be in a walled garden. A walled garden is not the model that works with OTT applications like theirs. When I go deeper into what's going on, clearly with what has got spelt out, I feel that the real dominance over here will come from WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp is the engine that is going to be used for small and medium enterprises. That has been touted very loudly as use case. Facebook and Instagram are B2C applications by and large and have lesser play on the B2B. So I think the real king and the real strategy will come from WhatsApp. And like Mohandas said, that with 500 million Indians using this as their first option for connectivity, they wake up to this application, they sleep to this application every day. I think it's a very potent application. But when you really look at it from a Facebook perspective, I think they've been struggling with getting legitimacy for WhatsApp Pay for a long time in India. And I think this will probably give them inroads into the payment platform and therefore getting into JioMart and several other use cases. So it's a win-win from that perspective. And because they've delineated themselves from the oil exposure, they are only invested in the platform. I think this will have a value no matter what price you pay today. The price might seem a little high at 11 multiple given to at what price the competitors are trading in India right now. But I think it'll always have a value even if they were to exit and not get a real bump up on all their other platforms that are there. So I think it's a win-win. For now, it looks very good. It's too early in the absence of use cases, application, and customer pickup to say who the winner is. The market is already consolidated to only 2 players. So it's not that you have to beat too many people. It's between probably Airtel on one side and Jio on the other. Let's see how long Vodafone Idea hangs on to this. But definitely the moves that Jio has made with Microsoft, with Facebook now, are definitely moves that suggest they are not interested only in the access business. They are interested in devices, they are interested in storage, they are interested in applications, and a 360-degree play on telecom, which positions them distinctly from the others in the market.
That's right, Sanjay, and you made some very, very pertinent points. Of course, end-to-end solution and having the entire bouquet, and it's a very, very big combination which could pose serious competition. But we'll talk about more competition a little later. But Renuka Ramnath, looking at the deals street, we were a few days back talking about the ability of bringing in FDI, of being attractive. Do you think digital revolution that the entire world is seeing is going to really change the dynamics of the industry very fast, and there are more investments likely when it comes to the specially digital space?
Yeah, Nisha. First, I think congratulations are in order for both Reliance, Mr. Ambani, and Facebook. I think it is coming together of two highly credible, highly capable, highly penetrated partners who can make the digital revolution much faster, much more real, and much more integrated with the entire India, not just for the metros or not just for the upper end of the echelons of Indian society. So it's a brilliant partnership. The potential is immense, as the speakers ahead of me mentioned. We'll have to wait for this potential to get harnessed. From a deal perspective, I think, and given the timing, as Sanjay said, this is just phenomenal because it bolsters the confidence in the potential of India. We all know that Reliance Jio built an immensely fantastic infrastructure. For Reliance to have this partnership is not that surprising. The potential is immense, but it bolsters the confidence about the potential of Indian economy, which is now being endorsed through this financial partnership between Facebook and Reliance. So I think it means a lot to the Indian opportunities around the digital economy.
Definitely, Renuka. In fact, that point is very well taken because the sentiment was quite sullied over the last 2 months in the deal street in particular. It gives a big boost, a confidence measure, and also a pat on the back for the Indian entrepreneurial skills also. So that's an important takeaway coming in. But Sanjay made a very important point on WhatsApp's importance and the gateway as far as the payment is concerned. In fact, that was one of the first things that struck me when this deal was announced. So let me get into the picture, somebody who deals in this particular space, and I have with me Rajiv Agarwal of Innoviti. So Rajiv, how do you see this particular entry changing the paradigm for the payments gateway and the fintech platform in the country, with WhatsApp getting a huge amount of leverage when it comes to the customer base of Reliance Retail because they are going to tie up with JioMart?
Right. So firstly, thank you. And also congratulations to Facebook and Reliance on this amazing partnership. I think Reliance has always looked at how they can help small businesses prosper. And this is another great initiative in that connection. So from a payments perspective, I think this is a positive. It's a huge winner. One, the current scenario has already, brought into fore the importance of digital payments versus currency, and we ourselves have seen a huge boost in touchless payments, whether it is through a UPI mechanism or contactless. And given that WhatsApp payment mechanism is going to be touchless because it is going to be riding on the UPI rails, it's an absolute masterstroke. So, so from that perspective, clearly there will be a fairly significant boost that should happen on the payment side. We are expecting anything like a 20 to 30% increase in the payment volumes through a migration from cash. The second aspect in terms of what it does for the fintech industry, I think it will lead to opening up of lots of interesting use cases. So today, for example, if you look how relying the 3 crore merchants who will get access to this platform of JioMart for them. And a lot of these merchants actually serve the catchment areas. They serve consumers who are living in that neighborhood. And imagine now that these consumers can actually order for goods, they can pay for the goods through simple local catchment solutions built all around WhatsApp and JioMart. So I think this is going to lead to a proliferation of use cases, which is where there's an opportunity for fintech players to be able to participate and actually build valuable solutions. So very, very positive for the payments industry. And of course, as you rightly said, coming together of 2 giants who have huge consumer bases. WhatsApp is the single largest base of consumers that exists.
Right, Rajiv. So it changes your side of the business completely, and add to that the huge migration that you were talking about, 20 to 22% from cash to online payments. So that's set to really begin, and WhatsApp could be really making use of that. With that, we'll slip into a short breather. Ladies and gentlemen, stay on, and we will discuss more about the impact of this large transaction between Facebook and Reliance Jio right after this short break. Welcome back. You're watching the special show on the mega deal that has been announced between Reliance Jio and Facebook, and I have many experts joining to talk about the different aspects of this transaction and how it's going to impact the entire digital revolution in the country. Let me go to the startup space, because Reliance Jio is touted as the biggest startup of all times by many. I don't know on what parameters it can be really called a startup after this large transaction, but talking to some of the investors in this particular space, and let me take it across to Bloom Ventures. Sajid Pai is joining us also on the show. So Sajid, help us understand, what does this kind of a funding mean for a startup like Reliance Jio?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. I'm not sure entirely it can be termed as a startup. I mean, it is one of the great startup stories, but the way it was funded and this one, I'm not entirely sure it's a startup in itself. But I think there's lots that the startup world can look forward to, specifically in, I think Rajiv mentioned about the fintech space. Certainly, Reliance has been a big buyer of interesting startups. They acquired Haptech, they acquired Savan. And certainly the muscle that they get from this deal, what the progress that they'll be able to make, the money that they have, will certainly go into the startup economy. And my sense is we'll see some interesting startup buys coming out, and we'll see some interesting moves there. But I'm not entirely sure it can be termed as a startup purely by the nature of how we define startups. But yeah.
Right. So in the very beginning, I gave that caveat actually, Sujit. So I also tend to contest that particular aspect. But let me also ask Sudhir Sethi of Chirate Ventures. Sudhir, what do you make of this kind of an investment? And what is the trend that you're picking up in the startup space, which has been hit hard because of the current situation? And with this kind of money coming into one company, does it lift the sentiment of other companies which are digital based?
Well, thank you. And I think clearly this is positive. The way I look at this transaction, especially at this time when there's a lot of stress around us, is this is transformational. This is GDP additive at a macro level. And it certainly is, after Walmart, I think this is even better and more impactful than the Walmart transaction. And here is how I believe it will be. The Reliance Jio market share in the country is about 32%, and it reaches a far, far higher level of consumer reach in the country. And it is likely to reach even higher with the addition of WhatsApp and addition of Facebook. So effectively, I think the way we should look at it is that 300 million plus people are already under reach as far as Reliance is concerned, and we are looking at 1 billion plus in the next few years overall. That's enormous. I mean, this kind of digital reach is essential to the country because it reaches potentially farmers, it reaches small and medium enterprises. It has an impact on every sector you can think of, like gaming, financial inclusion. It has
impact on healthcare. It has impact on software. It has impact on consumer. Every single sector you can think of, it has an impact in the market space. And let's just look at another scenario. If you look at the India playground, India is the third largest contiguous country in the world for digital play after US, China, and India. Now, at this point of time, who are the big players here? Amongst Indian players, it's Reliance and Airtel. There's really nobody else in the country. Then you have, let's say, Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, on the periphery. Alibaba, of course, majorly through Paytm. You have Naspers, to my mind, on the side as such. You have Walmart, Flipkart combination. You have Amazon combination, and a few others there. So effectively, this is the largest Indian player, and it's very important to have a very large, at least one or two Indian players in the market space, because fundamentally it's going to touch every single life. It throws up enormous opportunities for entrepreneurs, new businesses, new business models, new revenue models, new products and new services in the digital space, which we are already seeing. So to me, this is a very big boost, sentiment-wise, also to global investors and to Indian investors to invest in India at this point of time, even in spite of slowdowns which are there. It's a very, very big signal for the future of India.
That's a very good point made, that even though we are seeing slowdown, but investors at every point are looking for opportunities, even in adversity. So there is money to be made, there is investment to be done if you're in the right space at the right time. Now, let me take it across to Rajiv, because there are a lot of points that have been made by the startup world. Rajiv, help us understand one aspect. WhatsApp is not going to be exclusive with Reliance Jio. With the kind of space that it can manage to really capture with JioMart and Reliance Retail's customers, do you think that with their money power, they are going to expand faster in the payment industry and could really give stiff competition to some of the big boys that are existing in India?
Absolutely. I think that's bang on. So in terms of migration of consumers who have already been habituated to a UPI payment method from other kind of applications to WhatsApp can be very, very dramatic and very, very fast, I believe, because the simplicity of the application and the fact that the application is already a part of your day-to-day life is very different from having to adopt a new application. So it is definitely going to be some bloodbath out there for other players in this segment.
Right. So you are accepting that right here on CNBC TV 18, and we'll probably see it playing out over the next few months and probably years. But coming to Mohandas Pai then, Mr. Pai, help us understand one aspect. Do you think that no Chinese intervention here in a startup for such a good big fundraising makes a huge amount of difference, especially when we are living in coronavirus times?
Look, over the last 6 years, $60 billion has come into the startup world. $8 billion is from China. But Chinese investments are scary to some extent because we don't know where the data will go. Paytm should tell us where the data is and assure us the data doesn't go to China. We saw what happened in Zoom. Zoom is an American company. Then we discovered that the data is going to a server in China. Now, China is very opaque. That is the problem with Chinese investments. And I think that's why the government has now clamped down to make sure that data does not go there. China is a surveillance state. They got a huge number of people looking at the internet, looking at everybody's data. America does it, but America has rule of law, and China doesn't have the same rule of law. So I think, shutting out China to protect India is a very large issue. Many startups will be hurt. But I think there's an opportunity for India to look at Japan and try to get more Japanese investments in. There's an opportunity for government to get LIC and insurance companies to invest more in the startup world. There's an opportunity for government to get charitable trusts and universities to change their investment pattern because government has to approve. There's an opportunity for the BJP, who runs the government, to put their 20,000 crore fund promise in the manifesto into the public area and start working on that and make sure that they keep their promise. And lastly, to remove the perverse tax status that we have. For example, an Indian investing in a startup has to pay capital gains of 28%. Is absurd.
Right. So you, in fact, data, localization is a very hot topic of discussion. Sanjay, you want to come in on that? Is that going to be an aspect to be watched out also very closely from the government's point of view?
Yeah, absolutely, undoubtedly. It doesn't matter whether it's China or any other part of the world. And I absolutely understand what Mohandas is saying on the China perspective. But I think no matter which other country, the data has to be protected. And data is going to be a very important ingredient for companies and businesses to compete in future. Because it's the analytics that you draw, it's the machine learning that you have, it's the artificial intelligence that you have that is going to determine the competitiveness of one industry, one competitor in the market versus another one. And therefore, that data has to be protected. It has to be securitized. Also, the consumer's interest has to be protected because consumer cannot be put on a risky platform. So I guess this subject will gain more and more heat in the coming time. And there will be covenants in investments which will protect data for every country against every other country. So I think that's a given to us.
Thanks to each one of you for joining in with your expert take. Renuka Ramnath, Sanjay Kapoor, TV Mohandas Pai, Rajiv Agarwal, Sajid Pai, as well as Sudhir Sethi. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this particular discussion on the mega deal between Facebook as well as Reliance Jio.